In 1990, the average British family spent £40 a week on their supermarket shop. Meat, bread, milk, biscuits, cereal, everything for 7 days from major UK supermarkets like Tesco and Sainsbury's. £40. Today, that exact same list, not more food, the same food, costs over £130. But here is what UK supermarkets do not want you to know. It is not just that prices went up. The food itself got worse. The chicken has water in it. The bread was never baked. The biscuits you have been buying for 30 years are not even the same biscuits anymore. They changed the recipes, shrunk the sizes, and raised the prices, all at the same time. Take Cadbury Dairy Milk. What used to be 250 grams in 1990 is now just 180 grams, yet costs 3 times more. And they did it so slowly, they were banking on the fact you would not notice. By the end of this video, you will see exactly how 5 everyday products have been completely hollowed out since 1990. Not cheap products, not value range rubbish, the brands you have bought your entire adult life, the ones you trusted. And number 5, the one that puts it all together, might genuinely make you reconsider your entire weekly shop. Pick up a Cadbury Dairy Milk today and it feels normal. You have been buying it for decades. But put it next to one from 1990 and you would think they were different products. In 1990, a standard dairy milk weighed 250 grams. Today, 180 grams. A 30% reduction. Nearly a third of your chocolate gone. But the price did not drop 30%. It tripled. That 49p bar is now £1.50. And it is smaller. Per gram, you are paying 4.5 times what you paid in 1990. Cadbury is not alone. McVitie's digestives went from 500 grams to 400. Kellogg's cornflakes dropped from 750 grams down to 500. Andrex went from 240 sheets per roll to 160. No announcement, no notice on the shelf. They just quietly shaved a little off, month after month. The Office for National Statistics found over 230 products that shrank in size while holding or increasing their price. In a single year, 230. Which, Consumer Group has documented even more cases, and that is just the ones they caught. The real number is almost certainly higher because companies are under no obligation to announce size changes. So, here is rule 1. Stop looking at the shelf price. Turn the product over and check the price per 100 grams. That small print on the shelf label is the only honest number in the entire shop. Start comparing products by that number and you will see exactly how much has been quietly taken from you. But shrinking the size is only the beginning, because what they did to bread is something else entirely. Walk into any supermarket today and you will see a bakery section. Warm lighting, the smell of fresh bread, loaves in baskets with little chalkboard signs. It looks artisan, it feels traditional, almost none of it is real. In 1990, most supermarket bakeries actually baked bread from flour, on site. A baker started early, mixed the dough, proved it, and put it in the oven. What you bought that afternoon was bread that existed as flour a few hours earlier. Today, the vast majority of supermarket bakery bread, including major UK brands like Warburton's and Hovis sold in-store, arrives frozen and par-baked from industrial factories, some as far away as Eastern Europe. It gets finished in what the industry calls a tanning oven. 15 minutes of heat to brown the outside and release that smell. That is the freshly baked bread you are paying a premium for. This is possible because of the Chorleywood bread process, developed by the British Baking Industries Research Association in 1962. It replaced traditional long fermentation with high-speed mechanical mixing and chemical additives, cutting production from 12 hours to 3.5. Roughly 80% of all United Kingdom bread is now made this way, and a growing share never sees a real baker at all. The result is bread that looks right, smells right, but goes stale in a day and has a texture your mouth knows is wrong even if you cannot quite explain why. Compare it to a proper loaf from a real bakery, and the difference is not subtle. It is obvious. The crust, the density, the way it actually lasts more than 24 hours without turning to cardboard. If the label says baked in store, that almost certainly means finished from frozen. The phrase you want is made from scratch in store, and almost nobody uses it because almost nobody does it. If bread matters to you, a local independent bakery is the only reliable option left. Now, if what they did to bread bothers you, wait until you hear what happened to the meat. In 1990, if you bought chicken breasts, you were buying chicken. Just chicken. Simple. Today, a significant proportion of supermarket chicken has been injected with water, salt, and protein bulking agents. The industry calls it enhancing. What it means is you are paying chicken prices for water weight. Trading standards investigations have found samples containing up to 20% added water. For every kilogram you buy, 200 grams of it is not chicken. You have noticed this without knowing the cause. Chicken goes in the pan, and white liquid floods out. The breast shrinks as it cooks. That is the added water leaving. In 1990, that did not happen. Mince changed too. Standard beef mince used to run 10 to 15% fat. Today, budget mince hits 25%, and some products blend in soya or rusk to stretch volume. It looks like mince. It is legally mince, but it is not what you were buying 35 years ago. Then there is the butcher counter. In 1990, most large supermarkets had a staffed counter where you could see exactly what you were buying. Tesco, Asda, and Sainsbury's have now dramatically reduced or removed them. Pre-packed is cheaper to sell than employing a skilled butcher, but you lost the one person in the shop who could tell you what was actually in front of you. Check the ingredients on any meat product. If it lists anything beyond the animal, water, salt, dextrose, stabilizers, you are not buying meat the way you understood it in 1990. And if you want meat the way it used to be, an independent butcher, where they still exist, remains the most reliable source. They will tell you exactly where it came from, what is in it, and how to cook it. No supermarket shelf label will ever do that. But changing the meat is one thing. What they did to the brands you have trusted your entire life, that feels personal. You have had this moment. You open a tin of Heinz Baked Beans, and something is not quite right. The sauce is thinner, the taste is off. You wonder if it is just you. Maybe your taste buds changed. Try Branston Baked Beans, and the difference becomes clear. Recipes have fundamentally shifted across the industry. You are not imagining it. Heinz has reformulated its beans multiple times since 1990. Sugar adjusted, salt reduced, sauce recipe altered. Each change small enough that most people do not consciously notice. But stack them over 3 decades, and the product today is measurably different from the one you opened in 1990. Same tin, same label, different food. Ribena removed its full sugar recipe in 2018. Lucozade did the same. Irn-Bru's recipe was altered, causing such a backlash in Scotland that fans stockpiled the original. McVitie's Jaffa cakes have been reformulated and reduced. Robinson's squash went through multiple changes. Here is the hidden mechanism. The sugar tax in 2018 gave every manufacturer perfect cover. The public story was, we are making products healthier. Some changes genuinely were about reducing sugar. But what many brands did simultaneously was swap in cheaper ingredients across the board. Not just sugar, but flavorings, fats, and base ingredients. The health angle was real, but it was also a shield for cost cutting that had nothing to do with your well-being. The result is a generation of products that still carry the names and packaging you trust, but contain food that is objectively different from what earned that trust in the first place. You are paying for a memory. The product behind that memory has moved on without telling you. Stop assuming brand loyalty is being rewarded. If a product does not taste right, trust yourself. Try the own brand. Try a smaller independent brand. Your loyalty was built on a recipe that no longer exists. And that brings us to the big one, the comparison that puts all of this together. In 1990, a weekly shop for a family of 4, bread, milk, eggs, chicken, mince, cheese, butter, cereal, biscuits, beans, tea, fruit, and veg, cost around £40. The average weekly wage was roughly £260. Your food shop was about 15% of your take-home pay. 2026, that same basket costs between £125 and £140. Average weekly wage is around £680. Your shop is now 20% of your pay. The Competition and Markets Authority is currently investigating these pricing practices, but the damage to household budgets has already been done. Wages went up, but food takes a bigger bite than it did in 1990. You are working more hours to afford the same basket, except you are not getting the same basket. The chicken has water in it. The bread was frozen. The biscuits are smaller. The beans taste different. You are paying a larger share of your income for food that is measurably worse in size, quality, and ingredients than what you were getting 35 years ago. This is not inflation. Inflation means prices rise, but you get the same thing. This is prices going up while the product goes down. And it happened so gradually, 1 gram here, 1 recipe tweak there, 1 bakery counter quietly closed, that it was nearly invisible. Unless you stop and compare, side by side, 1990 versus today, then it is not invisible at all. It is staring you in the face every time you unpack the shopping. Since 1990, the sizes shrank, the prices went up, the bread became frozen, the meat got pumped with water, the recipes were quietly rewritten, and the cost takes more of your wage than it did 35 years ago. That is not opinion. Every single one of those is a documented fact. 5 things you can do right now. 1. Check the price per 100 grams, not the shelf price. 2. Find a local bakery that makes bread from scratch. 3. Read the ingredients on meat and reject anything with water or additives. 4. Stop assuming your favorite brand is the same product it was. 5. Try the own brand before paying the premium. You walked into this video thinking your weekly shop was just more expensive. Now you know it is more expensive and worse. And the worst part? They are still doing it. Right now. This month, another product somewhere is being quietly shrunk or reformulated while the price stays the same or goes up. If you have shopped in this country long enough to remember how food used to be, drop a comment. What product do you think has changed the most? I read every one. If this was useful, subscribe. And if you missed it, the S Secrets video is on screen now. I will see you there.